Good morning, good morning, good morning, and welcome to Shop Talk with Mel. What's going on? But you have to unmute your phone, unmute your computer. There we go. Bud Love in the building, John in the building. How's everybody?
Feeling good, feeling good. How you doing?
Good, good. Y'all up? I think I might be the only one that's up, huh?
A little bit. I'm up a little bit.
Just a little bit. Well, I appreciate you coming on the show.
Oh,
Definitely. I appreciate, like, the last time you guys were on Shop Talk with Mel was,
I don't even remember.
It was a long time ago.
I don't remember what year it was. I remember being there, but I don't remember what year it was exactly.
I think I was on 1500 then.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, John, good morning, good morning.
No, you was downtown for sure.
Yes, yes, right downtown. Well, now I'm all over the place.
Yeah.
We got listeners in different countries and everything. We doing it up. Do it. I can hear you, but you got your mask on and that look a little different. Look, I'm like, look, there you go. You ain't playing, huh? Put your take your mute off. We got a little bit of technical difficulty, so please excuse us right now for those who are actually tuning in and hear all the muffle and hear me talking extra stuff that should have been done prior to. So my fault. Look, prior to going live, but this is what we do. Yeah, where you going? All right, so what's new? Wait a minute, let me make sure I get it right. Y'all know I had the problem before. It's a whole lot of artifacts. Whatever is going on, we got to stop because it's amplified here in the studio. Okay. Like you said, it was a long time since you've been on Shop Talk with Mel. It has definitely been that. Tell me what y'all been doing. TGBENT. Did I get it right?
LLC now. LLC.
Oh yeah. Now, wait. I think that's you, John. All that artifacts. Hit your mute or something until you get situated, okay? Because that's a lot. And all right, so y'all do realize, and I have to put this out here, I so apologize to the listening audience because I know you're like, what is going on?
Right, all that right.
Yeah. The even though we're doing Zoom due to COVID-19, so we're on a Zoom. So wherever you are, just know that everybody's going to be able to see your background. So choose a good place. Just to those, for those, that are tuned in here today. All right. So you guys still making music?
Oh, most definitely. Most definitely.
I was wondering whatever happened, but tell me this TGBENT. What does it stand for?
True Great Business.
What? True.
Great.
True.
Business.
Great business.
Well, wait. So it's not. Wait a minute. So TGBENT.
Entertainment.
Okay. All right. I'm like, wait a minute. Look, I was like, hold on. I was like, I think we went through this before, but it's like, wait a second. All right, so True
now
Great.
It has the LLC on it now, so we have to say TGBENT LLC.
Whoa. Why? Like, I mean.
Okay, we a small business now. Like everything that we were doing when we first came on Shop Talk, we was still in developmental stage. Now we done took that developmental stage and we done amplified it. So now we are LLC. So that means you really they got to pay us.
The LLC is just the copyright for the business.
I'm totally aware because Shop Talk with Mel since 2010 been an LLC.
Right.
Okay, then.
Well, everybody was nowadays, I'm not saying you guys, but everybody going LLC because of the trying to get that money. How long y'all been an LLC?
I've been a LLC for a minute, believe me.
Longer than last year, right?
Yeah, I filed my taxes under a sole proprietor actually this year, but we got the the LLC to go with it. I actually didn't need the LLC, but I got it to protect my own business.
Oh, I totally understand. Totally understand. That was it. It was the entertainment.
Yeah.
I was like, what is that?
Great
What
business entertainment.
Yes, I was trying to figure that out. It was like, okay, so we getting ready to get this party started. And let's go. We all situated now? And
Yeah.
okay, let's do this. So you guys got new music. You got Bud Love, I know you the singer. John, you the rapper. It was somebody else with y'all, right?
Yeah, at that point in time.
Okay. Well, Roogle, you was back, on the All Talk Radio back then as well with me, rocking with me then. So do you remember when they came on?
I believe so. Yeah, I do. I do definitely remember John being on. He was on for a few other things though too.
Yeah, you was on there for that one topic she had from like 3 different like 20s, 30s, and 40s.
Yeah.
I think she had you for the 70s.
Yeah.
Oh,
Straight 70s. Straight 70s. I'm old.
Yeah, I done did a couple of talk talks.
Okay.
Wasn't he at the what was the event you had at the I can't Battle of the Sexes? Was he?
Did you come to the Battle of the Sexes? Okay. Yes. Yeah. See, I love it. I love it. We gotta do that again.
Familiar face. And I was a familiar face.
We know what the stage plays. If you guys missed the stage play, I did a stage play called How the Wife Becomes the Other Woman. Also, Front and Center will be coming shortly. We had to stop production of that due to COVID-19. And also we'll be having the masterpiece coming up. But it's not about me, it's about you guys.
I definitely want to check that out though.
Oh yeah, all based on true stories. If you haven't gotten the book, it's How the Wife Becomes the Other Woman, writer, Mel Ross. So you guys, if it's too much to type in, just type in Mel Ross and put how to how the wife becomes. It's a how-to book.
Find you, embrace you, love you. I like that.
Oh, always. That is my motto. But let me talk about y'all. Don't talk about me. Let's talk about you guys. I try to stay with it. Y'all, let me see. Y'all kept me current with 2 Chainz. Remember, I didn't know who 2 Chainz was.
Right.
And I was like, when 2 Chainz first came out, I was like, who? You was like, you don't know 2 Chainz? And then he actually wore 2 Chainz, which that was like weird to me, but but it worked. So you guys, let me see. I wanted to reintroduce you guys. So what is it? TGB, Greater Business, right? True Greater Business, is that right?
True Great Business.
True Great Business, okay.
Yes.
TBGentLLC.
LLC. Let me say that LLC. Look back there, the LLC over there.
You gotta put that on there.
The trademark, the TM. Y'all see the TM? Y'all see that up there? Been there?
Definitely.
So, what are you doing now? Talk to me. Let's go, John. What are you doing now?
Oh, what I'm doing, man, I'm just in the background. I'm in the background right now. And our main purpose right now, 2021, is to push this Bud Love as much as possible.
Okay.
Like,
Bud Love, listen, Bud Love. We need the music. Bud Love was like the R&B smooth, like singing. We need the music because we have who is Angie Stone with? Well, he's D'Angelo. D'Angelo used to be like real sexy, and he look a hot mess now. And then we don't have like we know the R, he gonna be laying down for a long time, so we need to go set him on, shelf him.
Yeah, look, I'm bringing sexy back. Then I'm bringing the 90s back.
Okay,
bring it back because they're doing a lot of rappers think they singing, but they ain't singing for real.
Now interesting that you would actually say that, because there are a lot of rappers that do sing but not singers. Right. So they're trying to make it happen. And I was wondering if because they didn't want to pay them to sing the hooks. But it is one, Missy Elliott, she could sing. She could rap, but she can really sing. She has a
Missy
great
Elliott
voice.
She was in a singing group though. She was in a singing group before she came out on her own.
What singing group was she in?
Some singing group. It was her and two of her friends or something like that.
Oh,
And
okay,
then
so
she
they
got
started
found by
out.
Timberland.
Okay, so they started out
Then
singing.
she
Okay.
came out as Missy. And
Yeah, she's a better rapper.
Missy's on a different level though. That's a different level of,
Right.
you know.
Now, you know what, speaking of Missy Elliott, yes, she's on a different level. I don't know if the listening audience or those who are viewing know that she was in special classes. She was slow, slightly delayed. So, you know,
Right.
and I used to look in that classroom. I didn't make fun of those people in that classroom. I used to be looking because they always had snacks. There's about 5 of them, and they always had a party. Every time I would go to the bathroom, you know, I'm like, I want in on that, you know. And she talks about it as well. So just because you may not be in mainstream, I'm using air quotes to the listening audience, you may not be in regular classes with my air quotes.
Right.
You may be in slow classes, and that's because you need a little more attention to grasp something, or you may be, you know what I mean, not skilled as John, the mathematician.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And you still can be great in something. So I'm glad that you did bring that up, but when I listen to your music, and you say you bringing the 90s back, the vibe that I get is that Montel Jordan.
You get the Montel Jordan.
I get that. I get that vibe. I know he probably, you know, bless God and bless him. You know, remember he was from the church, and then he was out, and then he went back to the church and sold everything. He wanted no parts. Him.
Which
type of person that listen, and you, they still saying this is how we do it.
Yeah, they still saying that song, definitely.
And who's
every
getting
90s
the money?
party play that song.
Right, and who's getting the money? But that tone is missed and it's well needed, and that's why I get those vibes. Not comparing you to as far as like being that person.
I appreciate the love. I mean, he made it, so I'm just trying to get there.
So fast. He made it so fast, and he did his thing. Who else? Mace. I hear Mace is getting ready to come back out. Remember, he was done with P. Diddy and them and decided he was going to be a preacher and being a preacher. And then he's supposed to be coming back. Now, I'm not saying, you know, you could be a Christian and still make some money, as all of us.
Definitely, it's not wrong.
No, as all of us.
Any genre of music. Not wrong with it. Any platform.
And you know what? And speaking of that, even we talked about Kirk Franklin. Remember Roogle? We talked, what was that, last week? We talked, you know, and it's like, okay, well, he's singing gospel music, but he cussing people off. He gonna break
Kirk Franklin said put some respect on his name.
Man, that was his son. If your son called you and was on some bull and he needed a good cuss out, you gonna cuss him out, didn't he? He didn't know he was gonna get recorded and put on the internet by his own son. That cat would never be able to ask that cat for anything ever again.
Right. Now what I'm saying, and the reason I brought it up is just what Bud Love was saying, any genre.
Right.
So it's like he's in the gospel genre, and everybody is like, oh my gosh, I can't believe he's speaking that way. But you quick to judge somebody that is in secular music.
Right.
And it's like, oh, well, I'm a Christian, but I have to portray this way in order to sing this. So that's why I brought that up. It's like, yeah, he is a person.
Understanding image is important though, like, you know, how you perceive, you know what I'm saying? So like the image, and, you know, it's because you can't pull it back, you know what I'm saying? So
he got more fans. He got his fan base increased.
Oh, definitely. Bad
publicity
too. That's why I said,
because a lot of people was like, oh, he was on some church, he this, that, and other thing. But a lot of people was feeling that cuss out. Like it was some real deal.
And it was needed.
Definitely.
It was needed. And you know what? I think that people connect, especially with you guys being artists. We connect, and I'm not gonna say they because it's me as well. We connect off of how we relate to each other. And I think that's what happened with Kirk Franklin. It was like, okay, now I can relate to you. You're not high and mighty. You know, some people feel as though that, okay, they're on this pedestal and everything has to be right. And, you know, you have a lot of people who decided they're not going to go to church, a lot of females, because they like wearing makeup, and they at the church, you can't wear makeup and you got to wear, you know, skirts all the time.
Right.
I was brought up in the church, and John, all of us, we was brought up in the church, and it's like,
me too.
Okay, see, all of us. I'm gonna wear my stilettos, but I would my stilettos. I'm gonna wear them. I'm gonna wear my sandals. I'm gonna ride my motorcycle. I'm gonna do it all.
And you should too.
And it's, you know, because people prejudge. Now, tell me, what's your favorite song off the new album?
My favorite song off the new album would have to be "Last Call."
I liked "Last Call." Okay, so the same thing. Now, what was your inspiration
for "Last Call"? I mean, I went in there and I freestyled that track actually.
Okay.
And it took us probably like 3 hours. I had like a 4-hour session. It took me 3 hours to do the song, but I just like the way it came out. We spent a lot of time on it, mixing, mastering, just the process. You know what I mean? In which that song, you know, it just took me. That song took me.
Okay, and you just went in and just freestyle. You were just feeling it that day. It's like, this is
I
not
was just
feeling right.
feeling the energy of the last call. You know, as soon as I heard the beat, I knew exactly what I wanted to do with it.
Okay, we're gonna play that.
Okay.
We're gonna play that when you're ready. You let me know. And we're gonna
I'm ready. Whenever you're ready, you can play it.
We're gonna let the listeners, I'm like, shop it or drop it.
Hey, I'm ready.
Yeah, shop it or drop it. Last call.
That's what we're gonna do. And we're gonna do that at 32 after the hour. 10:32.
Now it's an EP, it's not an album, it's a extended play.
Okay.
For people who don't know what EP is, it's a extended play. It's like a medium album.
Okay.
So it's like 4 to 6 songs. Okay. I made it 5 songs instead of 4.
So a short album.
Yeah.
It's like, okay. And it's just like compilations of what we are going to get in the future.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Like some of the songs have endings, like breakdowns of other songs that you would want, but it's not that long. It's probably like a minute long.
A little sample.
Yeah, a little sample.
Okay, listening party on Shop Talk with Mel. We love it. We love it. Mm-hmm. Good stuff. Now, you've been in the game for how long?
Probably like 12. I'll say like 11 years now. Probably 11 years.
Okay. And the reason I asked that is because it takes a lot of work.
Yeah, definitely.
When you know, mastering your craft.
Can't miss the steps. It's important. The steps is important.
And you have people who are out there. You have your I'm gonna speak for the newer generation. You to speak to the newer generation. You have those that'll come out, and I will say one thing with the newer generation is they're so supportive that they're making each other millionaires just off of likes, and they understand how it goes.
Right.
And then you have your generation, which is probably the last of our generation, like the bottom part, where we're trying to tell people and teach people, listen, if you like it, it gets me out there. Cause I'm still appalled, even like with Justin Bieber, off of just YouTube. You know, you have people that are like becoming famous just off of the likes or getting on a show. Have you ever thought about like the reality show? It's like, oh, okay, they're there. This younger generation, kudos to them because they understand what it takes. So we got to figure out, we got to wake our people up with our professional selves. Oh, and for the listening audience, you're speaking to all professionals here. So having a job, you know what I mean? Having a profession.
Stay around some young-minded, you know what I mean? Not young-minded, but young people who listen to music, so I can see what type of music they listen to too.
That young energy.
Yeah, exactly.
That's why I was around y'all, so I could see what was going on. That's why I know 2 Chainz. I was like, wait, who? What? Keep me going. help me out.
Back then, I had even much more of an older sound. Then I had to dumb it down a little bit.
You did though, and I liked it. And that's probably why I still have that, because I remember the whole, I'm like, Monto, that was like my guy. And that was, he's safe music.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And that's why even what I did listen to, it was safe. It was like, okay, we could play that anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Versus, you sitting there and somebody go up to the DJ. We know at a wedding reception, Roogle, the movie guy, and be requesting Ghostbusters. But so if he is somewhere and y'all hear Ghostbusters, y'all know he's the one that requested that.
You can't get married without no Ray Parker Jr. Come on. Who you gonna call?
Right, look at you like, and they got a new Ghostbusters now, so look at there.
Yeah, nobody wants that new one.
But
Ray Parker Jr.
It never ever went out of style. You still kept it going. You kept it relevant. Kept it relevant. And even with Bud Love's music, it could be played anywhere, so you don't have to worry about, oh wait, my grandmother's sitting over there. Hold on, let me shut that down. You know what I'm saying? So that's a good thing.
Or might be your grandma might say something about that last call now.
Grandma might say something about that.
She might know what the last call is about.
She definitely know what the last call is about. Grandma definitely know.
Grandma had 8.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. No. Hey John, are you gonna set that up, or are you, Bud Love, gonna set it up to play?
What's that? The music?
You gonna set that up?
Here I come. Hey, I'm gonna have to
go ahead, just turn your video off. Yep. All right. I'm glad that you didn't decide to say, okay, enough is enough and I'm done, or give up on your dreams. And that is why I wanted to invite you on big time, because you have a lot of people who will say, dude, like, you grown, you still got that dream, like, give it up. Have you had that in your ear yet?
No, because like, not boasting or bragging, but most people, when they listen to my music, they can't believe that I'm around here with the music. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like, it don't sound like a local like sound to them, so they're kind of surprised by the sound. So I don't really get I get more of what you doing around here still.
You know what? I'm gonna say this, because you have rappers that's in the studio, and they still in the studio. They was in the studio in 90, 91, 92, and they still in the studio and at the studio, doing the studio thing.
Exactly. We doing much better than 10 years ago. And
but you see, I thought y'all were good 10 years ago.
No, we got a lot of knowledge, and we learned and got the platform for the way we were supposed to do it, and now we know exactly what to do. I mean, you got to spend a lot of money on yourself as an independent artist, and you got to know it too.
Self-investment is everything.
Yeah, it's everything. Exactly. So
yes, self-investment is everything,
and knowing how to spend it too, though, as well, because I mean, you could just spend money. And
so for the younger ones that are listening out there and trying to come up, like when you guys first started at that age, when you say spending money, just out there spending it and know how to spend it, elaborate on that for me.
I mean, I could give you some pointers on,
I want you to tell me, what did you spend your monies on that you said, and knowing how that you...
Oh, I would say, like, in difference to back in the day, we should just, like, say, for instance, for example, we would just buy some CDs, go out there, sell some CDs. We would, just be going to the studio, not getting any receipts for the stuff we was doing. We was just like, just...
When you, now wait a second. You said not getting receipts. You mean so to file taxes at the end of the year?
Yep.
Okay,
yep.
but let's, that, I mean, I don't want to say that's not important. It is important for everything that you do, especially if you're filing taxes. But when you're in the studio and you be like, okay, run that back. Have I hung out in the studios? Absolutely, I have. And I wasn't a studio chick, right. Air quotes. But it was like, okay, this, you see your people in the booth and they're doing their thing and they have it. I've actually, a good friend of mine, he did his thing, and back then we didn't have studios. So like that Salt and Pepper documentary or biopic that they had when they were in the bathroom. Oh, I so remember those days. And not having the copyright you know, when you don't have a copyright, like you know, pretty much we're saying somebody
Yep.
steal your music.
Exactly. And that's what I was saying back then. We would just, you know, we would just do freehand, just do everything that way. Like, just didn't care. Like, you know, not have no copyrights to anything, just go do everything. Just like, we just got to do it. And now we're trying to hold it on that. And then you know exactly where to spend the money too now.
Okay, so, you know, being a upcoming artist, and I remember the whole rap game, and John, he could flow. He could flow.
Yeah. Right.
Very intelligent.
Mhm.
And it's you know, you were saying, I thought it was a perfect pair. I'm glad you guys are still together. It was a perfect pair. The popping bottles, you know, that the videos show you, and the monies, you know, was that happening when you were younger? Is that where a lot of money went?
For me.
For bro, it did. I never was like the bottle popper. I do it like, you know, if we celebrating for something, but
Okay, but you said for bro, he was kicking it, doing the gold grill, all that stuff.
yeah, he was kicking it always.
And you know, and it made it look good.
Right.
You know, it made it look good. So you have your stuff now. So fast forward to present. And what you drinking? Coffee or tea?
Tea.
Welcome to Shop Talk with Mel. I got the tea, and we get ready to get
like
into
4 days straight. So my throat is a little, you know, honey too. I got the honey.
Oh, you have to have the honey. You know what? That's good. We ain't gonna take it on the medical acid, but that is good for right now.
Mm-hmm.
And you could drop some vitamin C drops, like the cough drops, but use the vitamin C, drop it in your tea, honey, boom. When I do my Be Inspired, that's what I'm sipping on.
Oh, I got the medical cough drops. I'm good.
Oh, you got to for real. Okay. All right. Is this song set up? Because it's 32 after.
Yeah.
It's set up.
All right. All right. The phone number here is 515-602-9667. Again, 515-602-9667. If you can't get through that line, dial 614-524-5328. Shop it or drop it. Here we go. Last call by Bud Love.
You be on your bullshit, but I had to hit you up. Let's call it the ball right now. So I'm about to come tear it down. And you know how it go, don't play. These games that you like to play. You love when I'm giving you brains. Just put it on my plate and watch me spray. You know I will. I'ma keep you on there. Cause you know the deal. You know I won't let need it right now. You know I won't let need it right now. You be on your bullshit, but I still hit you up. You already know what we gon' do when I come through. Yeah. Yeah, when I go deep, yeah, you know my face. I ain't gon' play with it. Write my name in it. Yeah. And break it down with you. I'm gonna stay with you. But it don't play. Just watch me sway.
I can hear you talking, and I can't hear it. All right, hit pause. Hit pause. Got it? Can you stop it? Can you stop it? Hello? He's feeling his music. He is feeling it. Look, there we go. I'm like, he feeling it. I can hear it. I can hear you. I can hear you singing over the music.
Okay.
That was the issue. So you know, I'm going to put it up on the website so people can actually hear it with the music, because since we're doing it through the Zoom
Probably sounded
and
horrible.
everything. Yeah. No, the vocals don't. We know it's you singing. We know it's not studio. You know what I mean? What do they call that when you like they put all the beats and stuff behind it, but the person's really not singing?
Auto-tune.
Yeah, auto tune.
Yeah, we tell them no auto-tune. He say you auto-tune, no auto-tune.
Right. So I didn't we know it's not you. So sing one stanza.
Say that
Now.
again.
No, a cappella. Just sing. Give us a sample so we can actually hear you.
You be on your boat, but I had to hit you up. Let's call at the bar right now. So I'm about to come tear you down. You know how it goes, don't play these games that you like to play. You love when I'm giving you praise. That's all I'm gonna give you.
All right. That's Bud Love. Look, all right, that's Bud Love doing it up. I ain't mad at you.
I changed the melody a little bit too.
right on the spot. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Right on the spot. Right on the spot. Now
after I told you I wasn't gonna sing too. You did,
but I got it. Hey, listen, you listening to Shop Talk, the real deal. Roogle, did you hear it? And we gonna keep the truth. We gonna keep it coming. Like, we gonna tell you yay or nay. And I know that look, last week I was missing some calls. Make sure nobody gonna hold. Okay. It was last week. I'm telling you, I missed 15 calls. I was like, oops. I was like, oh, nobody's calling. But I got so engrossed in the show that, hey,
right.
What you gonna do? All right, we getting ready to get into these hot topics and get going. Are you gonna be able to chill with us, or are you going?
I can chill. I ain't got nothing to do.
Hey, okay, he off.
HTWBTOW.
All right, well, let's go. Derrick Jaxn. Let's just roll right on into it. Derrick Jaxn. For those of you who don't know Derrick Jaxn, I'm not going to make an assumption that you do. He's a relationship guru and he is on YouTube. Yeah, look at Roogle. Roogle had to get it like, come on with it.
Because I'm like, at first I'm like, who is she talking about? You should have been like, Jaxn.
Oh yeah, Jaxn. Yeah, Jaxn.
Wow.
Yeah, Derrick Jaxn, relationship guru, YouTuber. He's exposed for serial cheating on his wife. A lot of people didn't know that he was even married. So he cheated with several other people on his wife. So my question to you guys, since I have go ahead, Roogle, what you got?
You got to explain though that he was famous for trying to say what a good man is. And a good man is not a cheater. And a good man is about commitment, dedication, and all that kind of stuff. You gotta say why the egg is on his face. You gotta say why the egg is on the face.
Okay. Yes, you gotta say. A lot of women were happy to hear from him. Logged on. He has so many followers, and I'm gonna say the word "had." Y'all heard me right? HAD. So many followers because he was saying what a good man is. Be committed. Yes, Roogle put it out there. He did.
You got to, because if you just put it out there like a YouTuber cheating, you got to say why he out there.
And you know what? Because we did talk about him before when John Gray had his stuff, and then John Gray's wife ended up coming in addressing him when John Gray was cheating on his wife. So yes, he's known too for exposing people for their cheating. However, he cheated. I didn't even know he was married. And not that you expect the person to be single all the time, but the way that he presented himself, and let's be honest, even being out there and in the industry and being a air quotes celebrity, sometimes if you put out there that you're married, you get less followers. So if you know this is your niche, you know what I mean? As long as you're single, you selling the dream. And it's like, I got this because I'm selling the dream. Understand. I will tell you.
Image. I go back to image. Yep.
Yes, but you know what though? Honestly, even like with myself, as if I'm single, my base is, because I hate to say fam, my support base is majority men. Okay. And you hear it's like, oh, okay, well, they hating. Oh, well, other females. Well, I do have my lovely females that's out there that's rocking, because we all got one thing in common, and that's to see our sisters elevate. That's so those that rock with me, I love you. Look, I love you for listening. But for men, do you have the same issue? Do you have more female, a more female support base versus male support base, especially blood love?
I do. Yeah, definitely. I definitely do.
So, well, you might have some men out there be like, yeah, that's my last call. You be like, okay, but
that's cool as long as they stay back there with it.
Right. Now, cool. Who was the R&B singer? Was it Raheem? Well, I think it was Raheem, and they were talking about because he performed for, there was some gay event some years ago, and people was tripping because he performed for him. He's an entertainer. What difference do it make? So pretty much like you said, Bud, hey, you there, you support, thanks, I appreciate you, but you know how far, you know where you wanted to go.
Yep, you got. If you're getting paid for it, you got to handle your business.
Yes,
you got to handle your business.
And are you a performer or not?
Exactly.
That's it in a nutshell, and that's how you separate the professionals from the non-professionals. Let's just put it that way. But yes, Derek Jackson, just like Roogle said, he was like, no, say exactly what it is. Yes, he condemns people, and he talks about how people should have a good man and a faithful man and all that other stuff. Well, anyway, some woman ended up coming out the woodwork and saying that she had an affair with him. So what he did, he spoke, he had his wife with him when he addressed us, the public. I guess he owed us an apology. No, you owe your wife an apology, and that's who you need to be speaking with. But she was on there and she had a bonnet. So here's what's really interesting. And this is how we do. And it wasn't no men that said anything. Women sitting there like, why she got that bonnet on? You are there. Her husband cheated on her, and you focused on why this child got a bonnet on. and he got on a tight fitted shirt, a thought shirt. You know what I'm saying? Like, stop it. He got on his.
People can only pay attention to what they can see. That's why. They can only pay attention to what they can see.
Right, but not even focusing on the fact that, okay, he had his wife there, and the way that she looks, and I was going to set this up, but it'll be on ShopTalkwithMel.com, and you guys can see what I'm talking about, because I did put that, that clip up, where he was actually talking about how he had her hand, and then he said, I told my wife, about all the women I even spoke to, I did this and I did that too. Why do you think it was necessary from a male's perspective? Why do you think it was necessary for him to even have to share that information? Like with us?
Because he get his money from us. That's
so
straight up what
explanation is old?
Yeah, the explanation is paper, yo. If he ain't get his money from us, he wouldn't have cared to say anything. If he was independently wealthy of what his niche was, he wouldn't have said nothing at all.
Okay.
And then it was so funny because Charlemagne the God was like, how you gonna have his wife on there looking all crazy like that? You ain't even try to doll her up or nothing. You know what I mean? I mean, she was looking, don't get me wrong, she being cheated on and stuff like that. But even when, she is a really earthy woman. I'll put it that way.
You know what I said? I think that was probably, I think he did that intentionally and just said, come on. Clearly she doesn't care about, fashion, because I'm going to be honest with you. When he had her on there with him, it seemed like she was removed from, wasn't there at all mentally or anything.
Well, think about it like this. He done did this devastating thing, and he gonna try to have her come there and be on his side just while he just do this complete monologue, a complete narcissistic monologue Like, I wish we had Dr. J. Houston to analyze the video, to talk about it.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? Because he's a narcissist, man. And then it was like, you know, he didn't even care about, it was just all about him. All about
Now, okay, so did you see it, Bud Love?
Nah, I ain't see it. I ain't
Okay, you probably want to, but I'm gonna set this up for the listening audience really fast. He did a monologue, an apology monologue, and he had his wife by his side. Usually people, you know what they do, they have their spouse right with them as support. But she looked like she was removed. And as a female, you cheated on me. You publicly humiliated me. And I'm sitting here. It seems like he has control. It was this, I got R. Kelly vibes. Not saying that he R. Kelly, but you remember how they was interviewing those women that was like locked in a room, you know, allegedly, I'm saying allegedly to protect myself. But it was more so like he was,
yes.
She was just sitting there not saying nothing. I said, either she getting ready to Kirk Franklin him, or, or, you know, she don't care. She's completely done.
Silly.
So I'm like, what is it? Now, when she came, she had her bonnet on. She didn't have any makeup on. That woman is beautiful with nothing. She didn't have it. She had a bonnet on, but her face, she has such natural beauty. So I don't know if he did that, like, come on, babe, you look beautiful, instead of putting yourself together. Because a lot of women, y'all know I wrote the book, How the Wife Becomes the Other Woman. Y'all better cop that, okay? And you can get it at Amazon, Barnes and Noble, and Balboa Press. Let me go ahead and put it out there. Right. This is what, 2014?
Okay.
Right. He just passed on my life, that familiar face. But I just felt like he could have sat her there with the natural beauty, because maybe the women that he cheated with were all made up and extra, when what he really likes and really wants is the basic girl. You know what I mean? Just with natural beauty. Because you have people that just be putting their face all together, and then when they take that makeup off, you be like, who's that? That's why they say on your first date, hopefully if you meet a girl in the summer on the first date, take her swimming. See if you can deal with that. You know what I'm saying? Or, you know, he could have just sat her there like, and showed that he was in control of his relationship, because that's what it looked like. He was in control of his relationship. Right. And it just, I felt bad for her. She did make a statement, and her statement was, people were commenting saying, I would have left, I would have did this, I would have did that. Hold it. Let me say this. When you are married, it's a totally different thing. And I can actually say this because been there, done that, okay? Got 2 souvenirs to let you know. They 23 and 25 now, okay? However, it's easier said than done. When you are married to somebody, to up and leave, you be like, okay, wait a minute. If I leave here, then I got to pay bills. That was what was going on in my mind. My mind was, I got to pay bills. Okay, so it's going to be totally me if this is done. When you have a family, I don't know if they have a family, but still it's easier said than done. And what she actually said was, I've already left when she heard about it. She said that she already left. She said, just to let you guys know, I already left. To me, you don't owe the public an explanation. Talk to me, Bud Love, as a male, and let's say you're in a relationship. And if you stepped out of the relationship, do you feel as though that you owe society an explanation, even if society is paying you, just like Roogle said?
Not at all. I don't believe in being in nobody's business, and I don't believe in nobody being in my business. But as far as like me, I know everybody's gonna be in my business, so image is important for me. So what I put out, like I said, the people around me gotta be real on their toes. Seriously.
Okay, so what type of female would you be looking for?
Just somebody
being, what'd you say?
Just somebody who got their stuff together.
Okay.
Don't need me for nothing, really.
Oh, okay, already eating and you just be an addict.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. so we can work together. It's a partnership. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Is there a physical or a
At first,
mental?
it gotta be a physical thing at first, but ultimately it's a mental thing. You know what I'm saying? Because the physical thing is gonna fall. It's gonna fall eventually.
Okay. So you're going into it with the physical thing, but it definitely has to be a mental attraction.
I ain't saying that because, you know, I mean, I guess it depends on how old you is too and how many situations you've been through. But I think at this point in my life, I wouldn't be looking for something that wasn't serious.
Okay, so in relationships from a male's perspective, what's your age bracket?
I wouldn't put no age bracket on it, but I would say I wouldn't mess with nothing like 20. I would say like 21 and down. I would.
Okay.
21.
So 21 and over is your range.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, you like the cougar?
Huh?
You like the cougar?
You said I like the cougar?
You like the cougar?
Oh, I'm a cougar. Huh? Nah,
you ain't into cougars?
I ain't that old. Oh, you say I'm into cougars?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I like old ladies too.
Oh, okay. See, let me say this.
Ladies is sexy too.
You said older ladies. Now here's what's interesting, gonna crack you up. Some of us in certain age groups, we get offended when somebody calls us a lady.
Why?
Because that means we old.
For real?
Listen, my sister, somebody called my sister a lady. My sister, and I'm putting her business out there, she gonna be like, for real, Mel? She was upset that somebody called. She was like, who's she calling a lady? So I was like, that's nice. You could be like anything else. You still want to be that girl. We want to be that girl. Look,
that girl, huh?
Let us still be that girl. You know what I mean? When they call you a lady, that means you at parent-teacher conferences. You be like, oh, wait a minute. Because there's an image. Like the image of a lady in my mind is a nice tea-length skirt. You know what I'm saying? Like you're looking like, dang, I'm a lady. Like I've graduated to the lady.
To me, that's not the definition. To me, it's like this is somebody who like nice, like, you know what I mean, a woman who like nice things. Lady,
yeah, it's respectful.
Like a lady, like, you know what I'm saying, like, yeah.
It's a lady. It's respectful. And that's why it was so funny because I'm like, yeah, you crossed over. You're that lady. She's like, you're kind of the lady. You are now the lady. You are now over 40. You are now the lady.
When I say girl, I'm referring to my daughter. You know what I'm saying? Like that's my girl, my baby girl. You know what I'm saying? Like,
and see, now that's nice. All right. For the people that are in my age group, understand, lady is a compliment. Don't get upset. I think it's that like some people are afraid to go to turn 50 of growing old. And they be like, I am the lady. Look, can bake, can do all the other things that ladies do. But now I am the lady in the picture. You know what I mean? In the school book, the lady.
It's probably because they've been out of dating for a long time. That's probably what it is. Their confidence is shot because they've been out of dating for a long time. That's it.
You be like, no, I'm still cool. I'm still with it, right? I'm still, that's why you got to surround yourself, you said, with some of them younger people to get some of that young energy.
Exactly. See what's going on. See what they talk about.
Well, they did a poll on dad bods, and they said that dad bods are in.
Oh, dad bods is definitely in. You got the big belly and a skinny neck.
That ain't good. If you got a big belly and a skinny neck, listen, that is not good because you do realize that's how we, like, you know, with COVID, it really is good. If you don't feel like trying on your clothes at the store, even pre-COVID, if you take your jeans and you put it, you know, take the waist area and put it around your neck. If your jeans touch around your neck, that means they'll fit you. That's how we don't have to try on stuff. We'll know if it fit. Now you talk about the big belly and the little neck. That is not in.
That ain't cute, huh?
At all. Like, no, dad bods, no. It's not. And you know what I think? I think that if you guys, you didn't have children and you work, and the way things are, the mom is working, the dad is working, we're doing the same thing. You sitting in a lazy boy, being lazy. I said it. And our bodies is out of shape dealing with the whole, pregnancy, the whole nine. So you be like, okay, she got a fupa. Oh, okay, because she had a little pouch because a little baby. You know what I mean? But a guy with a big stomach, that is such a turnoff. That is such a I don't care how.
Go like this and place his hands on their stomach like this.
Yeah, hands folded on their stomach. Like like the old deacon sitting up in the front of the church on that side pew. Like
Deacon Wilder.
I promise I don't know no Deacon Wilder. Did you protect the innocent?
It sounds like a name.
It does though. It does. That's all I'm like, I promise you I don't know nobody named Deacon Wilder. But it does.
Deacon Wilder.
Like, that is not attractive to me. It is so
a big belly. So it gotta be on both sides then. So like, first of all, both the man and the woman gotta like themselves first.
True.
You know what I'm saying? Before the other side can like the woman or the man. So I think if you like your man to look nice, then you gotta look nice yourself too. Because then you kind of putting something out there in the earth that don't, you know what I mean? It ain't right.
I agree. I agree 110%. I totally agree. And let me tell you, I agree because I think both of you guys should encourage each other. And you want to be, they have like the power couple, and you be like, oh, okay, they have power couple. Not with your stomach all like that. We ain't, no. No. Burn off that energy that's like right there. That is not cute. No, I ain't interested. I'm not interested in none of that. That's not the move. I think there's no excuse.
Fat belly.
No, that's a turn off. Like, get out of here. I already got a pillow. Like, that's a turn off. It's a turn off. And like, if you look down and you can't see your joint, keep it moving.
It's over with.
Keep it moving.
It's over with.
Like, it's unattractive. So, and I'm shocked that so many people, they're into dad bods. You got a dad bod and you don't have no job.
That's why you got a dad bod right there.
But if you don't have no job, if you don't have a job, don't you have time to work out? Instead of spending all the time in the studio, I'm gonna need you to spend some time in the gym.
That is his workout. He work out while he's throwing those Pringles in his mouth and those
Hot Pockets.
What them ding dongs?
You said Hot Pockets? I ain't heard Hot Pockets. They still sell those?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, my kids eat them.
Do they? Like, that's nuts. Like, okay, let's look at Beyonce, for instance. Beyonce is a singer. Her job is to look good. So she go in the studio, she can go to the gym. Just like the same. If I didn't have to work, I'd be tight because my job will be to look good. Like you said, it's an image.
Right.
Let's go with like the Kardashians. And I'm going to say that just with Kim because everybody know who Kim Kardashian is. We know how she got started and how she became popular, but they made it work for them, okay? But she's known for how she looks.
Right.
Get it together. Now, we're going to move on to Miami Beach. Did you see what was going on in Miami Beach for spring break?
Oh, it's always wild on spring break.
Oh, I think everybody's just so tired of the pandemic that we had. That,
yeah, definitely.
That everybody was in Miami. Roogle, did you see everybody in Miami?
I didn't see it, but I heard about the how they wanted to shut things down and how they went about shutting things down.
it was so packed. They showed the footage. It was crazy packed. And half people, you know, actually most of the people didn't even have masks on, but I don't think the mask would have even worked how close they were. That was just not okay.
Yeah, the issue I heard that was going on was that the police there were trying to get people to disperse, so they were using a whole bunch like pepper spray or things of that nature. And
Yeah, trying to get people to go.
They kind of felt that it was sort of discrimination because it seemed to be more on Black and brown folk.
All right. I'm gonna ask this question. I'm gonna ask you guys this question, then we're gonna be done with the Derrick Jackson thing, okay? Is it, and it might sound like an oxymoron, but if you know you're a celebrity, if you know that you do reality, if you know whatever it is, if you know you are the man that you most wanted, and you cheat, you get set up to cheat because there are people that pay people to have affairs with you. Is that still considered cheating?
Yeah, it's considered cheating.
I would say it's cheating, but both of them wrong though.
See, I'm trying to, if you're set up, like your mission is to go and handle your business and do what you're doing. And then somebody's just throwing themselves at you. I'm not a guy, so I don't know. But somebody just constantly throwing themselves at you, throwing themselves at you.
You a woman, you should know more than a guy. How many times, like they say it's a normal world, you walking around, how many times are you hit on?
A lot, but let me tell you this.
Okay, so how is that different?
But,
like, you know?
That's probably why I wrote the book, How the Wife Becomes the Other Woman. I can teach you.
Come on.
Listen, but here's the thing. No, this is it though. What cheating to me, I would be more offended and more hurt and devastated if you are in a relationship with one individual for a long period of time versus having sex with somebody, because that's just sex.
That's what a woman always say that too.
Because that means they got your mind.
That's the baby boy line. That's the baby boy line when he said, "I don't love these women."
Oh yeah, he did say that. He did say that. Baby boy did say that. But honestly,
get in there and make them talk.
But I mean, when you're younger, yeah, you never say like, I can't believe you slept with her. But I mean, I don't know. So I'm glad I got you guys on here. I just want to know, like, if I knew that my guy was cheating with one person and he dating him and dinnering and all that other stuff, I would be more hurt than a fly by night, knowing that somebody then paid to set you up. And y'all kind of slow. And I'm just saying y'all as a group, collective group, because if you know that you're in the spotlight, just like Roogle off of here, you know you're in the spotlight. People gonna be trying to sit there and be like, oh, okay, just get him. I need you to throw yourself. I need you, and then video it. I need you to have sex with him or whatever. And the same thing with you, Bud Love. After you done sang the love song, she done stepped up out her panties out on the dance floor. So, and they like, okay, here you go. A few ballads, because the music will have us somewhere else.
Right.
And you get set up. Are you gonna call that girl back tomorrow? Do you plan on having a relationship with her? I mean, help me. Roogle said cheating is cheating.
Yeah, I'm finding it hard to see the setup part of it. Like I can see if somebody like lied and they were underage or something like that, then that seems like a setup. You know what I mean? Or if someone had a disease and they didn't tell you about it, that seems like a setup. But if you just, if all the rules are in place where everything is like legit legal, if you will say, and you just happen to succumb to that lusty side of
those advancements.
Yeah, I mean, you just cheated. Now I ain't trying to say that you're good or bad for it, but this guy was making a living off of condemning people for the sin that he was actually doing. So that becomes a whole other thing.
Okay, yeah, okay, I got you. You on point. I see. Would you listen to him, or would you expect people to listen to him anymore after what happened?
I mean, like to me, like this is what I'll say. People might get mad, but remember when Steve Harvey came out with those books, or the book and the movie, how to smell like a man, act like a woman, or something?
You said smell like a man.
I don't know what it was, whatever it was,
Act
right?
like a lady, think like a man. Talk about
Oh,
smell
I
like
mean,
a man.
I don't
I
know
can't
what
if
it
she
is.
smell like
Giving up all the
she
secrets
messing
and
with them
stuff.
there oils.
I
That's the
don't know,
oils.
you know, basically he was like secret, you know what I mean? Strong enough for a man, but made for a woman, or whatever you was saying. Shit, I don't know. But the point, the point I was saying was like he giving all this advice, right? I mean, it's like I remember at the
Right.
time I had a girlfriend, she was buying that. She used to say stuff like, well, Steve says this. And I'd be like, I don't give a shit what Steve say. You know what
Yeah,
I
I feel
mean?
that right
You
there. I feel that.
You know, I mean, like Steve, I mean, don't get me wrong, like some of the stuff he was saying, like even when you think about it, it was sort of he would do stuff to categorize women in a certain light and all that kind of stuff, and you know, and saying like, well, this is how a man is thinking about it and stuff. And never once do I remember her throwing anything back to me that talked about true connection, true love, people coming together, people forgiving differences and becoming stronger. I heard none of that. I just heard categorical nonsense that, in my opinion, gave more issue to division than togetherness. That's just my perspective, right?
Okay.
And then with this guy, you know, it just kind of felt like he found his thing and he was going to drive it until the wheels fell off. And he knew, like to say these women meant nothing to me, it was just sex. Well, you could have just had sex with your wife.
Okay.
Right? I mean, if it's just sex, you could have just had sex with your wife. So it was something else there that triggered that whole thing. And I ain't trying to say that he's a bad guy. Well, in this
Yes, you are,
instance,
but go ahead.
no, I'm saying like this.
that,
Okay, if you
yeah,
get a guy that
saying that.
cheats, the issue I was saying he may not necessarily be a bad guy, but the thing is that there's something there that caused him to stray. Whatever, if it was just him wanting that, then it was simple as that. But for him to act like it had no repercussions on his relationship is ridiculous.
Okay.
Because
I agree with that part right there. I agree with the ending part you say. That, you know what I'm saying? Because if it's a setup, like she said, if somebody sets you up to do something, I think both parties is wrong. He wrong for actually doing it, but if somebody sets you up, they wrong for it. Because they already know in their mind that you a cheater. So why would they even mess with you anyways if they know you're a cheater? If you got to go through those steps to try to set somebody up, then
Point taken. So they already know the weaknesses.
well,
they already know the weaknesses and they know they shouldn't be with you. So it's like they own. Like I don't know. I'm more into people taking responsibility for they self than like blaming it on the other person. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, like, let's say this though. What's the setup? Right? I mean, like, if it's a woman who likes me and I do whatever with her, did she set me? I mean, like, I need to understand what we using as a setup.
She said the woman setting you up. I thought y'all meant like your woman. That's that's what you.
I hope your woman not, because that's not the one for you.
Okay, so
I thought you meant that your woman sets you up with another woman. And
no, just period. Like other guys pay women, because that's what actually happened. I can't remember the guy's name. He's a celebrity. But
well, then I agree with him. Then I agree with what he's saying. Then you can't. It's on the dude then in that scenario, because he can't be set up. Like he said, you can't be set up because you know you got a woman and you can have sex with your woman.
Okay.
I thought y'all meant that the woman was setting you up. That's why. That's where I was a little off right there.
All right. Hey, Bud, I know you have to go. Thanks for coming on. Truly appreciate you. Roogle, let's finish this conversation. Go ahead. Give me your points.
Nice seeing, Mike. Nice meeting you. Good luck to you. Best of luck.
Appreciate it.
No problem. You know what? I just kind of feel like on this topic, the issue becomes that the thing that he was making his career off of was a thing that he backtracked on and all that kind of stuff, and it would just seem so his apology seemed so artificial. Like it was just like
staged. It definitely
it was definitely staged, you know, and then like just the whole thing. I mean, if he was like, to me, if he was gonna, you know, now the issue is, to me, honestly, he could turn this into gold. He could say, how do you make yourself now worthy to, for the relationship that you have that you truly want to be in, if you want to do that. But he got so much egg on his face right now. I just thought the whole thing was just kind of ridiculous. Even though I heard a few of his clips before, and I was just like, man, this guy, I don't know. When he was saying this stuff, I was just like, this dude phony. but like when you be feeling that way and people be like, I don't know why you feel that way, you just hating. And then next thing you know, they be like, damn, he was phony. What I mean?
Now that's true. Now that's true. You know what I think, honestly? I just feel like I would listen to him more because he's a cheater. So he definitely know what it is.
Well, I mean, listen to him more for what?
No, I mean to hear what he has to say. So there has to be some type of validity to what he was talking about because he was a cheater and his wife had no idea. But
the issue was how he condemned people for the act when he was doing this all along.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So what's the likely, we don't know if he was having protected sex or how many people he's having sex with and all that kind of stuff. He going back to his wife, back to his wife, back to his wife. So, I mean, he kind of, he put her in a really bad situation. I mean, even if it's, I don't know. I mean, those decisions people make, I mean, obviously they're only worried about themselves when they make it, I mean, when we eat, we make a decision to eat for ourselves. If somebody else is with us, we might ask them what restaurant they want to go to, but ultimately we eating for our own sustenance, and I think part of what he is doing is saying that, like, if I can get sexual fulfillment anywhere, I'll get it, and I'll try to justify it. Like, I don't remember in his video if he actually ever apologized to his wife. I could be wrong about that because I just don't remember it.
I don't know if he actually apologized. He said that he told his wife, so I'm sure that they had a personal, conversation.
Yeah,
right, go
but
ahead.
if you see Lee in The Color Purple and Mr. telling you the Suge Knight, the Suge coming, that don't mean that he, you know what I mean? He ain't apologizing for her. He's saying, hey, this is my piece. I'm trying to make her breakfast. I'm acting all out of my character.
Suge Avery.
To get there, and she come and make the food and all that stuff to appease him. Don't have her on there looking like Celie, acting like it's okay.
He did have her on there with that bonnet looking like Celie, though.
Man, come on now. That's on you. You up here.
ShopTalk in Minneapolis. Prince's ashes are now on display in the Mansion Museum. So they turned his place into like a museum, if I'm understanding correctly. And his ashes, the urn is shaped like his symbol. Remember his symbol?
Yeah.
So,
the artist formerly known.
Yeah, his artist formerly known symbol. That's what the urn is, and the ashes are in there, and it's going to be on display April 21st. Now, this might be something people might be into after 420. For those of you lovely people know what 420 is, go ahead and look it up after the show, though. Would you want to go see Prince's ashes on 421? I want to say that's what, 5? Is that 5 years he been dead?
It feel like it. It's been a while. It's been a minute. I would like to see the house. What's it called? Paisley Way or something like that. Yeah, I would definitely want to say. I would want to see that. Like, how does Prince live? How did Prince live?
Now, you want to know something interesting? You said it's been a while. It does seem like Prince been dead a long time, but Michael Jackson seemed like just yesterday.
I don't know about the Michael Jackson.
You think Michael Jackson been gone a long time? You feel
Michael Jackson has been at least 10.
Yeah, right. But I
know where I was
yesterday. Where were you at?
I was at the Coconut Grove when I found out.
Were you cooking at the Coconut Grove?
Was I cooking? Was I cooking? Come on.
Michael Jackson, maybe because it was so impactful. I know that it was a long time ago. I know it was before Prince, but I just feel like that was just yesterday. I think maybe I was so touched. Just like Aretha Franklin. Is she even dead yet? Because remember, she was, I ain't trying to be funny, but she How many funerals?
No, you got me. No, you got me wanting to fact check this real quick. I'm like, I think she died. Let's see.
But remember, I was like, oh wait, we got another viewing. Oh, it's another. Is she in the ground yet?
Is she in the ground yet? Not as long as her spirit lives on with us.
Oh, you
Sitting
right.
up in the morning rain.
He does. It's on Aretha Franklin.
know,
Talk about no Aretha
Come on,
Franklin.
man.
Aretha Franklin.
Like, come on. Like, let's see. Is she dead? I'm pretty sure. I think she died in 2018. Yeah.
Yeah, we know that, but is she in the ground?
Is she still on tour?
Right.
You ain't right. God forgive her. God forgive her.
They did. It was a movie on what was it? National Geographic.
Was it on? I thought it was the History Channel or something.
Oh, okay, one of them, one of those that I don't watch. But they had. Remember, we were talking about. She wanted Jennifer Hudson to play her.
Yeah.
And I think Jennifer Hudson is playing her in a movie. But the one girl, what's her name? The one that won. Didn't she win like an Oscar? The one that played.
She was nominated for an Oscar for playing Harriet Tubman. And then I think she did win the Oscar for the song that was sung for the Harriet Tubman movie. You know,
what's
but
her name?
Cynthia Eve, I think it's Everill.
Oh.
I'm not looking at it right now, so I don't know.
We don't know how to pronounce it. Oh.
I can't. I gotta see it to kind of see it. You know.
Oh, see it to pronounce it.
Everill, because I don't see it. But anyway, the
Arrivo. Is it Arrivo? ERIVO. Arrivo. Anyway, yeah. Okay, so
I was gonna say part of the criticism was it was like, hey, why y'all giving all these like African American history roles to like all these people who ain't African American? You know what I mean? Like that was a huge issue. Like people was like, let them be they people over there. Like this is the only thing we got. Y'all gonna let us do the roles? You know what I mean? And it that was a controversy, that was out there. Like for example, you had was it David Oyelowo? He played Martin Luther King in Selma. And
how did you feel about that?
I felt like
okay.
It was just
crickets.
Yeah, really. Yeah, this crickets. You know what I mean? Because I'll tell you this: Jeffrey Wright did a great job when he played Martin Luther King in Boycott. I think the thing is that like there's been so many people who have done this great work that like the same person just keeps getting the biopic over and over again. And it's like if it's depicting a different element that we didn't see before, great. And I think all of them had their own element of that. So that's a good thing. But sometimes it's just like seeing it from the person that was on the side, like when we gonna get the Baldwin, I can't think of his first name. Right. I'm having brain freezes right now.
Uh-oh. That ain't okay.
Yeah, I know. Jesus. All right, moving on.
Look, I'm like, moving on to the next one. The COVID vaccine. We're pushing the COVID vaccine as Americans. What's your thoughts on do you let me ask this. Do you feel forced to get it?
Forced versus coerced. I would say forced in a situation to where like just seeing, like I know like as far as really knowing people, I know like 7 people who have had it. And I've
actually had COVID, you mean?
Yeah, probably more. I've ran into more people who have had it, but out of people that I actually knew, you know what I mean? Like had a conversation with at one point in time, I would say 7 of them, and out of that 7, 4 of them died. So, when you think about that aspect of it, and if there's something you can do, like, okay, like for example, the shot I mean, that's for you, you know, of course, but the mask is for others. And my thing is that, well, if you don't feel comfortable taking the shot, then feel comfortable wearing a mask, right?
Right.
I mean, or vice versa. I mean, or both, you know, or both. So my thing is that I did get both. I took it, right? And I continue to still wear my mask because, you know, I would feel terrible if I was to transmit it to somebody else.
Okay. So even with the little bit of information that's out there about the vaccine, you went on and did it just in case?
Well, my reasoning was this, is that the measles vaccination was the second fastest vaccination that has ever came about. And when they came about with the measles vaccination, that might have been, I could be wrong because I don't know off the top of my head, but 50s, I'm going to say, right? 50s or 60s. Took them 4 years and they felt like, man, that was a rush job, right? In this case, you had every world power dumping all kinds of money into making sure that this came about. Then with the distribution of it, it went to people that if it doesn't work, then us as a society, we are in deep trouble. Let's say it had some terrible effects or something like that, or whatever, for a mass population of people who took it, then we would be in a really terrible way. And I just kind of felt that the technology advances that came from when measles was rushed to this happening, all world powers and all corporate, on all those organizations being focused on this one task, and then with the distribution of who it went out to, it made me feel more comfortable with it. Now, let's say they would have said, hey, we got this shot, but we're gonna give it to all the people first, and then all the medical professionals. I wouldn't have took it then. You know, I wouldn't have took it then, because that just sounds kind of funny to me. You know what I mean? But since it was like, pretty much, if it puts us in a situation where it wipes out our whole healthcare staff or employees throughout healthcare,
right?
Yeah, I mean, like, think about that. Like, there's been millions of healthcare professionals that have gotten this, right? So if it doesn't work, or if it had really bad negative effects, then I think that we would have probably seen some things. And don't get me wrong, like 5 years from now, you might see on there, hey, if you took the Moderna vaccination, you know, call us. We have a class action lawsuit. You know, people need to pay. You know,
everybody did 50 cents.
Yeah, that could really, I mean, you know, that could be a thing. You know, but when I took my shot, I noticed that there was a paper saying that the government would take some level of responsibility for if you took it.
I'm still waiting on reparations. You know, I'm just saying.
You waiting on reparations? Let the
government take responsibility since you brought it up.
Well, I mean, that's a whole nother topic of responsibility. Because if that was the case, you know, they'd be taking responsibility on things that are issues right now for underserved, disadvantaged, disenfranchised communities, and they haven't done that.
Okay. Yeah. I spoke with some people concerning the vaccine. Mm-hmm. Okay. And what I got was some very interesting responses. At the beginning, remember, it was like, no, we remember that, you know, the Tuskegee experiment, and Black people weren't trying to get the vaccine at the beginning. You're like, oh no, heck no, I ain't trying to do that.
I'm too skeptical.
And okay, here's what's interesting to me, that, okay, well, why y'all don't like us anyway? So why are you pushing so hard for Black people to take this vaccine? And that's just how I feel. I won't say either way because I'm non-biased. But for the sake of conversation, let me just say this. Why that's a red flag for me. It's like, oh no, we want, and it could be different ways. And I see the wheels turning in your mind there, Roogle.
Yeah, but I gotta get a paper, write this down.
Yeah, write it down. Why are you trying so hard? You like adamant, we need Black people. We need the African-American race to get this vaccine. I'm thinking that this is just my thoughts and not the thoughts of the people on Shop Talk with Mel. So let me be clear. But that makes you wonder. It's almost like, give it to Mikey, he'll eat it. Like, why do you want me to do this? And then you want to put blackface, and I'm using this term, not the actual blackface, but put a Black person that you believe is a leader. So you have your pastors, your mayors, your governors, people in leadership or celebrities that you look at, to me personally, as us being sheep. Oh, they'll follow them. So if they get it, then guess what? The Black people will get it. And I just, that's just my thoughts. Like, what's really going on?
Yeah, well, the thing is, I think like this. I think.
Okay,
like,
wait, and let me finish this.
Okay.
And then you could go right ahead. And so I'm like, So I have this thought in my mind. My thoughts, you already know it's about to be something. And then you have people working. So now they're working. So they're like, hey, if you need to get the vaccine, call me. I'll schedule you an appointment. And I have a few friends that are doing that. And I'm like, I'm in the health field, like, boom, thanks. But we it's handled, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, why are we pushing this? And since it's a benefit to you, so now this is what you're doing and this is your job, let's get this vaccine. Do you really believe in that vaccine? And so in my mind, I went all the way there. I said, I wonder if this is how it was when that nice cruise ship in 1619, is that how they got on that cruise ship? Was this how it was sold to get on that lovely White Lion, the name of the cruise ship, to go to Virginia? Is this what happened? And it sounded real good. And then all of a sudden, poof, we're here and there's slavery.
Well, you act like they came over in a cruise ship. People were stacked on top
I'm calling
of each
it a
other.
cruise ship. That's why I'm going cruises. I'll call it that.
But you act like they were like, hey, we got these like pina coladas on board. Come and get a drink. It wasn't
that's
like
the only way I'll be getting on the boat.
Yeah, but it wasn't, they showed.
So you tell me they went
shackled. They showed the people shackled and stored,
like we just
laying down on their backs, side by side, not getting out to even relieve themselves. I mean, like, come on.
But we were kings and queens. So who talked them into it? People.
People
that probably look like them, look like us.
Yeah, but I don't think it was like, hey, let these people put you in shackles and take you.
No, I think before you knew it, you end up being in shackles and you're like, wait, what happened here? This is not what I signed up for. So that's where I'm going with that. That's just my thoughts.
Yeah.
A mind of imagery, but go ahead. So what's your point? I
just think the thing is, first of all, like, if President Obama taking the shot is different than, I don't know if some celebrity took the shot or whatever, right?
LeBron, since they gave him flack because he didn't tell if he did it or not.
He didn't. Well, he don't necessarily have to.
And that's how he felt. And they slammed him.
Yeah, nobody has to tell you. You know what I mean? That's your own health business. You know what I mean? And then the thing is that, like, LeBron can live a life in a bubble. His whole occupation was put in a bubble, where it was like, hey, let's just test everybody. Let's just do all this stuff, right? I mean, he's a different. That's an elitist, So would it matter? You know what I mean? The thing is that when you give it to like President Obama, if President Obama died from it, you know what I'm saying? It's like, hold on, you know what I mean? So there was people was like, hey, this might do this or might do that to us. You know what I mean? So he gave it a sense of validity, being like, hey, the government, I'm telling you to trust in the government on this particular issue. Like, we're doing, you're doing right by you on this. So it brings a whole another level of validity. But the issue with the distribution was that there was disparity in the distribution period. So when you looked at the rollout, it only wanted to hit people at first that were a certain age range. Then it helped hit people in certain occupations, doctors, nurses, teachers, right? A large majority of people who serve in those occupations are not Black and brown people. So just that rollout gives a disparity.
See, I see so many Black and brown people in there.
Okay.
I do. Now, probably 20 years ago, I didn't, but that's all I see.
Yeah.
Working alongside, you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, when you start talking, I mean, the thing is,
but I understand what you're saying.
There's still a gap to become. There, like, there's not a like there should be more Black doctors. There should be more Black nurses, right? You know, I know there's other Black people that work in healthcare occupations.
Come to us, Roogle. Come to us.
Yeah.
Get in nursing school.
Yeah, I thought about it. I actually been really thinking about going back to school to become a dentist.
Oh, I'll come. I'll come see you because I got this. My wisdom tooth needs to come out. I'm not lying. Listen, I've been throwing back painkillers like Skittles.
Wow.
And I'm like, it hurts so bad, like this side of my is coming in. But go for it. I will. Oh man, that would be amazing.
Yeah, I thought about it. Thought about a lot of things. But anyway, yeah. So the other thing I looked at is like the service area that Black and brown people work in, right? We really, since we have gotten here, have been the backs that have built this country and that maintain it. You know, if it's in manufacturing, if it's in, you know, food service, if it's in all these different areas, you know, those are the jobs that we have a abundance of. And I think they look at that as an overall economy driver. And then the issue is can you go and do your job and be safe? And what does that look like for your home life? The other thing is that there's already so many health disparities when it comes to people of color. If you're in a situation where you get this disease and you have to be in the hospital for 2 weeks, you're looking at financial ruin. I'm just saying, like, I mean, if a person has ever been in a hospital and had any kind of work done, you know, you come out with that bill, and that bill could be devastating. So I look at it as if it can help you prolong that catastrophic health event, then that may be beneficial financially for your family. You know, I mean, unless, you know. But the issue there is that we have a healthcare problem. Okay. And if we didn't have this healthcare problem, I think there would still be steps to try to get people the vaccination, but you wouldn't have the disparities that would come with the financial ruin tied to hospitalization or getting medications. So until we fix those root issues as a country, we're always going to have these disparities that can be dramatically increase when you have something like a pandemic, a flu, or anything like that would cause the average person who's working, you know, at a place where they're making minimum wage, if the benefits even cover anything, how it even works, you know, it can lead to a level of ruin. And that ruin is, it impacts your credit, you know, and people are like, how did you get from COVID to credit?
I got it.
You know,
but go ahead.
Yeah. So those are the 3 points that really resonated with me. And the other thing is that I think like years from now, or maybe a year from now, whenever the information comes out and is relevant, we can see, well, what was the impact of COVID per capita with certain demographics, and then what was the government's response to that? The government doesn't want this to be a Katrina level event for minorities across the country.
Okay. Let me say this to the people that may be tuned in and listening, and you're on the fence about getting the vaccine. If you don't feel well, don't get it at that time. We do ask the question, you know, have you been sick in the last 30 days? Have you had COVID in the last 30 days? Have you had another vaccine like your flu vaccine within the last 30 days? Otherwise, we can't administer it to you at that time. So if you are fairly healthy, though, have at it. Your body probably can go ahead and fight it. If you have chronic illnesses, a lot of doctors, physicians will tell you, you know, they'll say, they'll encourage you to go ahead and get it so that you don't get sick with the actual virus. You guys know I had the virus. I had the virus. And it is mind over matter, because it's like, oh boy. And then you look at, you kind of, especially being in the medical field, you kind of look at the prognosis and say, okay, well, I know I have these pre-existing illnesses, and now I have COVID, and not knowing what's going on, you'd be like, okay, what's going on? Then you have to think, and I'm going to give you this for free. Treat the symptoms. Even when you have a baby, and I've seen that often too. If you have a baby and your baby has a fever, please, 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 parents, do not bring the baby to the ER with the fever if you can actually treat it. Your child, don't bring them to the ER with a high fever. We believe what you say. You don't have to prove it. Treat the fever and let us know. We believe you, because that's all we have. We gain our information from you. That's it. It's all subjective. Tell us what's going on. Don't allow your child or loved one, even an elderly person, to suffer and bring them in, because if you can do some things at home, go ahead and do it. Treat the symptoms. If you end up getting COVID, treat the symptoms. Hear me well. Treat the symptoms. It's a virus. And with viruses, we already know we can only treat the symptoms. You can't write a prescription for an antibiotic and say, here you go. You can write a prescription for the antiviral. Like, remember the whole H1N1 with the flu vaccine? So you want to treat it the same. Moving to The View. On The View, they have Meghan McCain on there. And Meghan McCain actually called it the Asian, what did she call it? Oh, like, remember they call it the Asian.
Was calling it the Chinese
yes,
virus.
The Chinese virus.
Well, China virus, the Kung flu.
Yeah, the Kung flu, all that stuff. Well, ex-CDC director, if you guys don't remember, Dr. Redfield. Y'all remember him? He was the director of the CDC, and then he just kind of like stepped down all of a sudden last year. He believes, this is just his opinion, and I saw it, and this is what he said. He believes that the origin came from China. That's what he believes. And he believes it came in September or October, around there, 2020. Because remember back in like December, I remember that one guy, the one that said he had something for president from 45.
I don't
recall. I got a surprise for you around Christmas. I got a nice Christmas present. So Dr. Redfield felt as though that it came from there. That's just his opinion. And he said it came from Wuhan. Now, Wuhan, that's where all the studies of all the viruses usually take place. You're aware of that, right? Are you?
No, I know they had a lab over there. I know there's a lab, but I was.
Yeah, it's a lab, and he feels so that it came from a lab. That's just his views. He said in his opinion. But that's where all the studies for the viruses are. Would you live in that place? Would you live in Wuhan?
But that's like saying, like, I think you have more of a threat if you lived where there was a nuclear power plant.
I wouldn't live there either, because it might blow up.
But the point I'm saying is like, I think like the way facilities, because it can't be the only place that's doing this testing and stuff, or else we wouldn't have had, a vaccination made by companies from American companies or British companies and all that other stuff. Right. So I just think like the threat of contamination probably isn't that high for somebody that just lives there. I don't think so. I mean, but even if the origin was there, the issue became what's happening now, and what's been happening throughout this pandemic is Asian and Pacific Islanders have been attacked by people because of racist theories based on this whole thing, or just people being just straight racist. We've had so many things happen. I've seen like several videos of elderly Asian people being attacked for like no reason, like brutally beat for no reason at all.
Go ahead, I'm listening.
Not to mention the shooting and everything that happened in the sauna in Atlanta, with the spas and stuff. It's been an attack on these people just for who they are. That's something that as Black people we definitely can resonate with, because it's been happening. There's this level of discrimination and hate crime.
Now, what's interesting? the hate crimes that have happened in different races, like remember, they had the bombers and all that, and then everybody was, here I go with Arabs. Remember, everybody was against the Arabs. Remember that? Go ahead. What is it? Arabs. I don't know.
Yeah, but the
Muslims.
thing was, if it's like people don't know the difference, they see anybody brown and they just say that's the guy. They look the part, so they gotta be those people, right?
Right.
Those people can be from India. Those people can be, you know what I mean? They have nothing to do with it. Or those people can be from Wyoming. You know what I mean?
Right.
I mean, come on. Like,
But
it's just ridiculous.
And here's what's interesting. So you have the Arabs, Muslims, the Asian, different nationalities, you're black and brown, and the white people, let's just put it out there, seem to hate against. But with the Black Lives Matter movement, and let's be real, I only seen, like, in my neighborhood, I had two Asian friends, Anna, which I love dearly, and they had, and they're in the salon, the nail salon, Black Lives Matter, and then, the Fortune Garden, where I eat my Chinese food from. And I can appreciate that because they know where, what their audience is. I mean, here I go talking about the target audience here, but they know who their customer base is and respecting it. And it's like, why are you so afraid of Black Lives Matter? And are there signs out there? And why is it the white people? And I got air quotes. Let me say alleged for somebody coming to attack me, that keeps attacking like everybody else. Like when, just like the incident that happened at the grocery store, 10 people killed. You just going in there. I'm going trying to get buffalo chicken dip. And I'm like, hey, let's go to the grocery store. You cook. You're just going to get your supplies so that you can cook a meal. Nobody goes to the grocery store thinking that somebody that don't have nothing else to do is going to go in there and kill these people. Just like the Asian people. I go get me a massage. These people going to try to relax. Who'd have thought during their relaxation time that somebody is going to go in there and kill them? It's sad. And then you have, I think I saw where you have somebody be like, oh, help me. Like, let's say George Floyd, I can't breathe. But then you have this white boy sitting on the ground. He done murdered 8 people, and you give him some water. And, come on. When are we going to be fair?
Well, I think the thing is that we shouldn't look at the cops murdering somebody else as being fair. The fairness comes in.
I guess you're right.
It comes in the black, brown, and yellow person not being killed. Black, brown, yellow, red, all the colors of people, not being killed when they have an encounter with the police. Even if they
That's
are.
What I'm saying. I ain't talking about somebody else being killed, but you offering water to somebody that murdered somebody, and then Black Lives Matter, peaceful protesting, bring your own water. You know what I'm saying? It's go ahead.
I was gonna say, part of the thing with the Black Lives Matter movement is that one thing people didn't understand, just like they didn't want to understand Colin Kaepernick, kneeling because of Black Lives Mattering. They just looked at it as.
Do you think they didn't understand, or do you think that's the cop out of, oh, I misspoke? But
I think the thing is that you buy into the rhetoric that you want to believe. So if someone says, well, it's disrespecting America, it's disrespecting the flag, and how dare they get upset because they make so much money just doing that, right? And it's like, and it should be, how dare you not get upset because you make too little money in a place where you should have free healthcare, free education, and a livable wage. Why shouldn't you should be more upset? Because of what they do to the least of us, they've done to the most of. I mean, however that goes. I'm sorry, but you get what I'm saying. You know what I mean? So I'm saying like these were the things like I was watching this documentary called Crip Camp, and it was talking about how there was this camp in the '60s that was for people who had disabilities. And they had mentioned in the camp that the Black Panthers used to come and give them food. This is in California somewhere, whatever, this camp that was made by hippies. And when you think about, like, if you just recently watched Judas and the Black Messiah, and you think about how those movements to help people who are disenfranchised always get turned into some sort of attack on American values, when American values have overlooked so many of us for generations. And it is not just a black thing, as it is a poverty thing as well. It has how it is, like, I see people be paired with ideas that do not match their economic or environmental circumstance. And it's like, how can you be for that when, like, clearly you are not going to benefit from it? You know, it's sort of, you know how I feel about, like, I don't know, I want to say this, but I will say it quickly. It's sort of like being a fan to, like, a team, you know, like, people get all mad and stuff like that. They ain't getting no bonus check. They ain't doing nothing. Everything about being a fan is you coming out your pocket.
Yeah, that
You
can
know
get
what I'm saying?
exhausting.
Everything about it. So, I mean, like, you know, come on, think about that. Like, just, you know, if you like the sport, you love the sport. So if you like humanity, love humanity. You know, don't take sides. Do what's right for do what's right for humanity.
Okay. Speaking of humanity, how do you feel about the new Georgia law?
I don't know a whole lot of it, but I do
Like
know
that segue.
I do know it's a suppressive. And I think the thing is this, I think what people need to understand is that they feel by limiting your access to be able to vote, that you won't vote. And what we need to do is just come together and vote. This vote, this vote, this vote. Keep on voting. Don't, you know, make it a priority. Make it a priority. Like, it should be more important than April 15th. And everybody know what that date is. You know what I mean?
You know what? There's they extended it too.
Yeah.
They extended the tax deadline.
But the point
May,
I'm
I can't
saying
remember the date, but in May.
Is that every time they're always going to put limitations on people. They're always going to try to disenfranchise people, especially if they thought that it was right in the beginning, when it was okay, when they had a majority of it, then why change it? Nothing was wrong with the voting. It was just now people got savvy and they started to vote. The issue is, don't stop voting. Don't stop voting. And if you don't vote, start voting, because you can see that they're trying to change things, because they know that the voice is powerful, the voice is counted, and the voice makes change. And if you don't vote, they love it when you don't vote, because they don't have to do nothing. But when you do vote, and they can stop you when you make change, the issue was they made change, and now they want to change now they want to change the process.
Here's the part that got me. They, you know, for those who don't know what's going on, they wanted to stop the early voting, and they wanted to remove some early voting boxes. This is the part that got me, you know, because I vote on the last day, election day.
Yeah, this last
day. Did you hear when they said it's illegal to give water to people who are standing in line to vote? Is that part of the Georgia law? So are they, who is it illegal for? It's like, if I want to give somebody water, it's illegal? It's illegal, I guess, for the people. I don't know, because remember when President Obama was being elected, they had water out there for everybody, souls to the polls, the whole nine. Yeah. Now, I just thought it was mighty strange that you can give a bum on the street some water, but if you're in an election line, can you bring your own water? Or if I'm behind you and you have an extra bottle of water and you say, here, they're gonna arrest you. Like, talk to me. I know you gather. I couldn't believe it. I said, how do you tell somebody, like, okay, I can't give you water? What we got to do is this, and that's back to the jelly bean. How many jelly beans in this jar? You remember that? I mean, yeah. When we get, and then the thing is, those are issue for warmer climate areas. You know what I mean? I can't say that. Thirst is thirst. You know, I just think you got to come up with more. Like, the thing is, when you get the opportunity to vote. You know, like, if you wait on the last day and it's all filled up, you got to wait. What we also got to do beforehand is vote in the primaries. We got to make sure that our vote is being that our registration and everything is correct. Got to do all those steps. Yes, and you know what's gonna happen? They're not gonna want to be there all day long. They're not gonna want to be there, and that's what's gonna happen. But it's outrageous. And for even President Biden, he's like, what? He said, this is ridiculous.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. They almost need to make a federal law on how voting should be done. Like just I don't know. They say every state has its own rules and regulations.
And they're gonna try to sweep it across all 50, if you ask me. I think it's like, okay, if it passed here we go, we're gonna do this. Yesterday, Georgia Democrat Stacey Abrams, which is the founder of voting rights group Fair Fight, said in a statement that that was blatantly unconstitutional and nothing less than Jim Crow.
Yeah.
So even to sign that's nuts. That's nuts. But that's when we have to, just like you said, vote, vote, vote. You got to watch who you have in office. They voted that man. Somebody voted him in to say, okay, what's his name? Republican. I know he was a Republican. And that's why we have the whole Republican Democrat fight, because that's ridiculous. Are you looking it up?
No, I'm trying to figure. I'm not really sure what you're talking about looking up.
I was trying to see what his name was. Who wrote it?
Oh, the bill?
Yeah, wrote that bill. What's his I can't remember what his name was. And then they remember they ended up arresting Kemp. Governor Kemp. And they ended up arresting those two, the one lady for knocking on the door while they was trying to handle business. I believe it was Governor Kemp. They were okay with it. I just think they're just trying to do what they can do to eliminate our votes, because yes, we made changes and we turned it blue.
Yeah.
Instead of, and it shows.
But believe me, if they would have won all those seats, they wouldn't have changed nothing. They might, you know what? Let me put it like this. They still might have changed stuff, because in Ohio, there's a Republican majority, and they still change the voting, the voting things. Actually, we're up for redistricting.
Okay.
So, we may not, I don't even know how that's going to even look for us. We might not even have the ability to be truly represented.
Interesting.
But we'll talk more about that once it's rolled out.
Yeah, that's interesting. Roogle, what's happening in the movie world?
Well, the first thing I want to talk about that I thought you were going to talk about, but you didn't talk about, was your girl, Sharon Osbourne, stepping down from the top. You ain't going to be talking no more.
Listen, if you notice, like 45 gone, she goes, some of these people don't even deserve, even to be discussed. But yes, go ahead. Your segment, go.
Well, I mean, that's what they decided. She decided that she should step down. Now, I don't know if that means she's stepping down from her producing creds or anything like that, but it was basically wrapped around the things that Piers Morgan had said, and her supporting him, and then her really with the situation that happened with Holly Robinson Peete, when she was told that she was too ghetto for the show, and then obviously that was again, the icing was put on the cake, per se, when she said the things to Cheryl, like, you don't have a right to be upset. You bet not. I should be the one crying, that kind of stuff, right? And and all of her eliteness, she didn't talk herself up off a show. Now, what they were saying was that the cast was not truly prepared and pretty much coached to have that conversation. You know what I mean?
No, that's good. No, when you said that the cast, she's still saying that, but here's the problem that I have. She stepped down, no apology. They said she gave Cheryl a private apology, but she's still worried about her and feel as though that she was sideswiped. But I thought talk shows like we do. We don't have the, oh, here you go, this is what we're going to talk about. Get prepared. Our stuff is straight off the cuff. So what's the problem? It's the real. Look, I'm, the real deal here. And I just feel like that was a real topic that happened. This is what you said. And you're mad because you were stabbed in the back, or you weren't forewarned of what you were going to say, what you were going to
the thing
say
was,
diplomatically correct.
She made those comments, you know what I mean? That was the thing. It wasn't like they said, she made those comments. The concern is just that, like, she could have said whatever she had to say, like I said before. She could have said, hey, I support my friend. I think everything's being taken out of context, and left it at that. But when she goes and she tells a minority how to feel about their perspective on of this type of injustice, that was it.
You shouldn't be crying. And don't you start crying. I should be the one crying. Huh?
Yeah. That was the,
to me, that was it for me.
That was the thing. That was like the whole, when when Oprah was in The Color Purple, and the lady said, yeah, I'm gonna let you go home for Christmas. And then she wasn't able to drive the car home. She's like, no, you gotta come back. I don't want nobody else to drive me. You know what I mean? Like saying, like giving her this idea of freedom when she's truly not, when she isn't free at all. And being able to change it right then and there. You cannot feel. Don't feel anything is what I'm saying from my pedestal of superiority and leadership and ownership of this project that you are on.
Right. And guess what? And that's what I feel like. She's like, I feel uncomfortable. And if I feel uncomfortable, bye. So that was a great analogy, The Color Purple. Like, oh, okay. She's like, yeah, I get to see my family up. I can't drive. So you got to come home because I'm not comfortable. White privilege.
Yeah. But the thing with that though, too, I would, playing devil's advocate was, we don't know the relationship between her and Cheryl. Like if they would, like, let's say if they were not in that professional setting, could they talk like that to each other?
Now, see, they were friends. And that's why when Cheryl was talking, she was on Steve Harvey Morning Show, she was hurt. And that's how she responded. And she was just as shocked. And that's why I talked about on Shop Talk with Mel, after that aired, I saw, which was really sad to me. Do you remember me saying I saw Cheryl checking the boxes in her mind? Mm-hmm. To say, okay, how do I, even though Cheryl is very intelligent, but checking and I'm gonna say, I hate to say the word, but I saw her checking the boxes in her mind, like my coins, I got to be careful how to say this. I don't want to be disrespectful. Like all those thoughts in her head. This is a producer of the show, because we know Sharon is the one, she's on the ground floor, like, let's have this show. So this is my boss. Now, how do I say this? And I just believe, kind of like seating in self. You know what I mean by that?
Well, no, I don't.
Like seat of self, kind of like when you move back and you think, you process things and you say, okay, let me process this first before I actually go ahead and go ahead.
Yeah, the one thing I would say about that show is, you know what, it's supposed to be a show, like what I gather from it is that those shows are supposed to be shows that bring about teachable moments, if you will, right?
Okay.
That's,
and we see,
but
people don't want to teach,
but it's like, do you give that person the ability to be able to, like, do you give them the ability to be able to learn? Like was Cheryl, like, I don't know if Cheryl felt like, if she felt that she shouldn't have left the show. Does she feel that way? I don't know. But
I really believe that she don't think she should. That's why it took so long.
Yeah,
and then why did they all go on a hiatus after that? You know what?
Well, I think that had to do with Holly Robinson Pete's accusations about Cheryl saying that she was too ghetto for the show. So then that brought in the whole race thing. Because I don't think the disagreement in their positions on Pierce Morgan would have been enough. I think there's been, and we know, unfortunately, we know like even when her daughter was trying to defend minorities, she said, well, Donald Trump, who's gonna wash your toilets if you don't let them in?
I remember.
You know what I'm saying? Like they have a really impaired way of defending people. You know what I mean?
Like that's
like
right.
you know, like you kind of see what they saying, but why did she use that? To, you know, she using the wrong, like
wasn't politically correct.
Yeah, but
that's the daughter.
it was this,
I can't
it
think
was
of her name.
Is it Amy Osborne or something, or
But
Megan
here's
or
the
something?
thing: when you say Holly Robinson Peete, even on that, she rebutted on Twitter, because on Twitter she said, talking about Sharon, she was like, "Oh, that's bullcrap." I can hear her voice. That's bullcrap about Holly Robinson Peete. She's like, because I have it where she's saying that she misses me.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So is it true or is it not true? And she said that she wasn't racist. I just think, you know, why would you take the whole show off? That's because you felt that you were wrong, going on a hiatus. Why couldn't she just take her time off and let the rest of them just do it?
But based on Variety, based on the article Variety said, was that the whole, everybody is undergoing like cultural competency and sensitivity training and all that kind of stuff. So like
Sure don't need no training on that.
But you know what? I don't necessarily
do that on
agree.
your off day.
I don't necessarily.
Your off day.
They get no, because when you go to work and you get trained and things like that, you get paid for being trained.
No, you work and you have your training on a certain day.
That's not an off day.
Or put guest hosts.
But they worried about preserving the brand. Having guests don't fix the problem if the brand is bad. You gotta, you know what I'm saying? You can't.
Addressing the problem don't fix the brand. I think that the census would have went up. People, how are you going to handle this? And if they showed everybody coming back and be like, okay, what happened yesterday, blah, 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 and having the talk, because remember, I mean, you have to get comfortable speaking about the uncomfortable.
Yeah, but the issue is how to speak about it in a way that they're trying to say, hey, there's going to be a lot of this stuff that we're talking about, and some of the stuff we handled in the past we probably didn't do right, but we ain't being called out on it. And I just think that they're saying that the whole thing just everybody involved needed to be more in tune with what's going on in the world. Because I can even sure, I mean, she's a minority and there's other minorities on the show, I assume.
Yeah, I mean, they have a variety of people.
Yeah, but even then, there can be things that somebody can say from a race to another race. They can be just as insensitive and, and think like, it's not impactful. And I think right now what's going on is that, like, I don't think minorities are going to have they ain't going to have a get out of jail free card if they say something that may be borderline politically incorrect.
Okay.
So I mean, I understand what you're saying, but I just kind of feel like they just wanted to make sure everything was tight. And it's going to come back April 12th, according to the Variety article.
Would you be watching?
I never watched it.
Oh, see. So look, same thing, just like the Gorilla Glue Girl.
Let me say this. Have I watched it like, oh, I got to turn in to watch this? No. Have I seen it on before and watched it while I was on? Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I'm a View girl. I like The View. So that's
The View is the one that was the original one, right? That was the one with the 2020 lady.
Yes. Barbara Walters.
Yeah, that's the one with Whoopi on it.
Yes.
Yeah, Whoopi the truth, yo.
Yeah, I love her. I love that show because even though you may not agree with what they all say, at least it's happening at the time. It's happening in real time.
But the thing with them though is that what's her name? Barbara Walters. She seems to give them, like, she was a journalist, right? So she seems like she's going to give them that leeway to be able to make that point and be able to dig into that into that teachable moment. Because think about it like this. Whoopi Goldberg, hey, she be checking people. Like,
Yes.
boom. Like you said like this, you said which McCullough had to think about it. You know, she had to think about her response. I didn't see it, so I'm just going off what you said. But Whoopi don't have to do that. You know what I'm saying? It's like freelance, like, hey, I got my blazing sword, I'll slice you.
And that's what makes for that's what makes for a good show. It's not paper cut. It's not A, B, C, D. It's still order. There's order, but they're able to be free. Once you start putting shackles, because I really feel like Cheryl has invisible shackles, just like you said, not being free. I thought that was amazing. Invisible shackles on herself. So how can I come here and do this job and I can't be me? That's where
I don't think it's a thing about, I just think sometimes the audacity of a comment that you might hear could just like kind of have you in a situation where you like, I can't believe you said something like that. You know, like just in shock of just the level of insensitivity about such a thing.
Yes, and I think that's probably where her tears, why her eyes watered up, that's where her tears were probably coming from, because she couldn't believe it. And it's like, oh, wow. I'm telling you, I had to delete, when we were talking about with the police brutality with our Black men and women. When we were talking, I had to delete somebody off of Facebook that I thought was cool. One of my little white friends, boom. Here's what's interesting. When everything that she was saying was like, well, they were wrong. It was their fault. And she was serious about she was serious about her white privilege, shall I say. Here's what's the key. And I had to respond to her. I said, you don't know yet because your son is 2. She has a son who's mixed.
Oh.
When he gets older, then you're going to have that Meghan Markle. Guess what? You can pass all day long, but guess what? You're still Black.
Well, the thing is, she's probably hasn't realized that she's been discriminated upon yet. You know,
she don't know yet. She don't know yet.
Yeah, she probably don't even know, but it's probably something that's been, you know, I mean, it's probably something that's been said or did or whatever like that, you know. But the thing is when that child gets to walk that walk without that parent there, then it becomes a different issue.
Then Mama Bear gonna kick in and she gonna be like, wait, what?
Where was it at, in North Carolina, where the white couple had the male Black babysitter, and the police or the lady called, said he's with these 2 white kids, and he got pulled over and everything like that, and the parents had to come, and he was like, I'm their babysitter, and like they didn't believe it, you know, or whatever. It's just like this whole crazy thing.
It's all nuts. I don't know who needs to hear this. This is different, but let me just put this out here. Sometimes people, and this is totally off topic, but it's here. It's in my head. So that's my distraction right now. That's why I said, I don't know who needs to hear this. Somebody listening somewhere, but it's here. Sometimes people will be so familiar with you that they don't recognize the God within you. So whatever it is that whoever I'm talking to is going through, just don't give up. Keep doing what you do. Keep your dream alive. And even if you don't feel as though that if you feel as though that you don't have the support that is needed, that's because they may be just too familiar with who you are. And, you know, it's usually like family and be like, oh, I know who that is. That's so-and-so. So they don't know your gifts or don't see your gifts. So what I have to say to you is don't give up and keep going. All right. I get that out of my system. That's what was going on the whole time. I'm like, yeah, let's go with, and it's supposed to be your segment with the movies. And you started with Sharon Osbourne. Beyonce got robbed.
Robbed of talent?
The Beehive is going to get you. They are going to get you. Somebody got into her storage bin and they took over $1 million worth of items. And then I want to talk about the Gorilla Glue girl. I'm sure you don't care because we already know.
No, I want to hear about that. I want to hear about the update on that.
On the Gorilla Glue girl.
Yeah, okay. She had a reality hairdo show or something. Where she go and visit like hair shops.
I hope not.
Like Guy Fieri eating hamburgers at the
Remember she was going to get breast implants and then they found the 2 masks.
Uh-huh.
Well, she got her results back and they are not cancerous.
Oh,
So we're
okay.
happy about that.
Yeah, that's good.
And now she is expecting a baby with her fiance.
Her fiance, he's not the physician, is he?
No, he's not.
Oh, okay.
Her
I'm just trying to
fiance.
figure out where the drama was with that whole thing.
No drama at all.
But listen
and I'm
though,
just shocked that they even like telling her she's
hey,
pregnant. Go ahead.
they should give her a reality show and call it Fried, Died, and Laid to the Side and have her go to different hair salons.
Listen.
Telling you, hey, I shouldn't even have said that on the air. You might have to edit this tape.
Look, pitched it.
You might have to edit it and then cut that out. That could be your segment.
But
Here
this
you
is
go.
what's going on. I'm not following that young lady. And is that her fiance? Was that her fiance before she did the GoFundMe?
I don't know anything about it.
No, you know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, like, get out.
I would assume that he's, for her to be, well, if she's pregnant by the time that happened, she could technically be pregnant. Yeah, still. Is there a wedding involved?
It's a fiance.
Oh, okay.
So
okay.
I don't know. Listen. See, a lot of people say fiance. And then, in the obituary, they're going to say they leave their fiance.
Yeah.
Them people, listen, if I ain't say I was getting married, that ain't my fiance. Just say boyfriend. You know what I mean? Her boyfriend.
You got to make it sound adult. You can't.
Or don't put nothing
You gotta
at
make
all.
it sound like it's going somewhere, right?
Or don't put anything at all, or they just need a time off work.
Don't put them on.
So they put them in the obituary. They need the time off work. They need letters.
So, well, that's the reason why, like, bereavement time and leave time they're trying to eliminate the actual relationship to the person, especially how it's viewed in the eyes of the law, because it can be discriminatory in cases where you have people, not so much now with, the passage of gay marriage and gay rights and stuff like that. But, before it would be like, well, I've been with this person forever. You mean I can't take off 3 days? You know what I mean? Because they're not this title. And now you can just, like, I know our policy was, well, the last no, it's 3 days, whenever you want to take it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You have those. Listen, I know somebody who needed time off or was, like, okay, you know how you be on probation. If you have, if you are absent from work, I know somebody who made an obituary off of somebody that died. Listen, no, you don't understand. Off of somebody who passed away. Don't know the lady. Guess who had a solo?
Who?
Me.
Why did they make an obituary? All they needed was to just go and give a funeral director like $5 for one of those pieces of paper.
Maybe they didn't know. They sat there, did a whole program, and I was hollering.
I mean, not to be ignorant, but it's somebody dying every day. You know what I mean? You just gotta go.
Like, I need one of these for the.
Yeah, it's like, I got. I was here for the funeral. I forgot to pick up the paper. You know what I mean? So.
And do they charge you for that? That's $5.
No, I was just.
I'm like, do they charge you for that?
No. I was saying that they took a bribe or something. I was just joking there. But when you go and you're legitimately at that funeral, they usually ask people if they need them for work or anything like that. I've gotten them.
Okay.
I've gotten them before, and as a supervisor, I've never asked for one.
You that is so nice. That is very nice.
Like if it's not on me, I'm like, hey, if you telling me, you told me. I mean, just like if you sick, you ain't got to tell me what your fever is. Sometimes you just need a break.
So like, I just want, and you know what? You're good. You're good. You're a good supervisor, because myself also, I've never actually was like, here, bring me the documentation, because I wouldn't think that you would just lie about being at somebody's funeral. Yeah. Like, that's something old people do.
Yeah.
And they don't lie about it. They go to funerals. That's the outing.
Yeah. So it was a thing where, I don't know. Sometimes you got to look at attendance issues. I just never had to face an issue with attendance, with people who had bad attendance. You know what I mean?
Oh.
So, most of my folks, they'd be like, oh, I got something to do at lunch. I was like, well, go ahead and get it done. You got on lunch, right? And then drive to that one place you got to go.
Okay. Look,
You know, and they be like looking at me. I'm like, just drive to that one place you got to go for work, right? Because you got to go over here and such and such, right? But yeah, I don't know. I shouldn't say that. I'm gonna ruin my job prospects. Huh?
no, they'll hire you. They'll definitely
You
hire
know
you.
what I mean? They be
Go,
like,
go
nah,
ahead.
he's
Go ahead with the movies.
okay. So what's going on is that it was funny when you said the name McKenna, because there is a gentleman who, and I want to make sure I get this right, so I'm going to my notes here. Okay, dead air. Okay, so I don't know if you've seen the show Safety. Safety was a movie that came on Disney Plus, and it was about a football situation or whatever, and it was written by Randy McKenna. And he's also going to be writing a new Static Shock for Disney, for DC Films and Warner Brothers. So I'm looking forward to him having that success with that. Looking forward to that movie as well. Static Shock is a really great character. I think he'll do justice by it. Now, on something I'm not too sure about, there's a new Transformer movies in the works from the Charm City King filmmaker, Angel Manuel Soto. Did a really great job with Charm City King. The issue is that he's taking on a Transformer project. So hopefully he can bring breathe some new life into that thing for me. I'm really not a fan of the franchise anymore. But you know, it's worth a watch if he does some good work. And what's also coming out is, I don't know, are you a King Kong or Godzilla fan?
Nope.
Okay, then it makes no difference to you that'll be premiering pretty soon on HBO Max and in the movie theaters. So I'll be watching it for free because it's on HBO Max. Well,
Okay.
you know, technically I'm not going to the movie theaters. Along with news from HBO is that George R.R. Martin signed a massive 5-year deal with HBO to create all kinds of content. You're probably like, who in the heck is this guy with 2 R's in his name?
Right.
He's the guy who made Game of Thrones. He wrote Game of Thrones.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So they're saying, hey, he might not write a book. He might just put this all on TV or whatever they're gonna do it. So that's one thing. And do you remember the show, The Wonder Years?
Yes, I do remember that.
Do you remember the song?
No.
You don't remember was it Joe Croker? What would you do if I sang out of tune? Would you stand up and walk out on me?
Oh yeah,
Okay.
Same attitudes. Oh, that was a
yeah. I want you to
What was
sing the
the
song, but you wasn't feeling it. So
I don't
okay.
remember. I got it down. Go ahead.
So did you know ABC is going to reboot that show?
I
Check
won't
it
be
out.
watching it.
Check it out. I watched the first one. The first one I could really relate because me and him was like the same age at the time when it was released. But the thing was like now it's going to be rebooted. And guess who's going to do the narration?
Oh gosh.
Don Cheadle.
Who's that?
You don't know who Don Cheadle is?
You know I'm not the movie girl. That's what I do.
Hotel Rwanda?
I don't watch movies. You know I eat in movies.
Yeah, but like he's Black Monday on Showtime or
okay.
You don't know who he is? Look it up. When you see him, you'll be like, I don't believe I didn't know who this guy was.
Okay.
But anyway, she don't know. So basically what they're doing
I know Black Monday.
They're okay, you know the show Black Monday on Showtime? He's the lead.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah, okay.
Okay. But the thing is, I believe it's going to be from a whole Black perspective taking place in 1968.
Okay.
So there you go, Don Cheadle, yo. Going to be doing that. So I'm looking forward to watching that. Of course, the thing is going to be great. And why did I get the same thing up twice? Oh yeah, because I wanted to get more information for myself. Okay, and your boy Tyler Perry has a new drama series coming to BET Plus. Have you heard about this?
Of course not. What do you got? I can't keep up. The have-nots.
It's called All the Queen's Men, and it's about some lady who owns a strip club for male dancers.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Well, there you have it. straight from the mind and art and artistic genius of Tyler Perry.
Go ahead, and I'll tell you about Tyler. Look,
So go ahead, jump on in there.
Tyler, I was watching him on he was with Joel Osteen, and he was saying how those characters that he created was his escape, you know, growing up in an abusive household. And he would be, I guess, up under the porch or whatever, and he just started writing everything down. He said he heard Oprah say, write it down. I tell you, like what my mom always said, write it down, make it plain. And he started writing it down, and he did his doggone thing. And he said he can't make it in New Orleans. He was going to move to Atlanta, make it happen. 30 people showed up at his first play, and now look at him. And he said he followed God, kept following God, kept following God. And God said, quit your job. Don't work a full-time job. And he said it finally, bam, it happened for him. So he didn't give up. So again, don't give up on your dreams. He has such an inspirational testimony as far as how he became Tyler Perry. Everybody knows that name now. Now it's a household name.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead. Are you finished?
No, I mean, everything else, I mean, this is all kind of just not really all that, you know.
Child's Play.
What?
Like scary movies, Child's Play. They got a marathon going on.
Oh, I didn't know about that.
On I think like the Sci-Fi Channel or something. I don't know when it's coming out, but I did see that. Child's Play.
Mm-hmm.
I want to do a quick Mel's Medical Moments when we're talking about the COVID-19. There's symptoms to be aware of that I think is really important, because a Texas Roadhouse CEO, he died from the post-COVID symptoms. And he died because he committed suicide. He said unbearable COVID symptoms. So you're talking like the rash, confusion. It's just a lot of different things, depression, anxiety, a lot of post-COVID issues. Some people even said that they feel like there's a elephant on their chest. They still have those respiratory issues. Please get them checked out. Don't sleep on it. If you find yourself being depressed, don't sleep on that. Go ahead and get treatment. Go and seek help, please. Make sure you lovely people go and seek help. All right, I'm only gonna say that 1,000 more times. Seek help. You are not crazy. Go and seek help. Always do. So your rashes, your coughs, you know, respiratory issues, like I said, you have those lingering issues, headaches, those confusion is the one that I noticed that a lot of people complain of. I even have some of the confusion or foggy, they call it the fog, where you be like, how come I can't think of this? You didn't have COVID, did you? Brain farts?
I don't know. Who knows? You know,
And
I never tested for it. You know,
okay.
and I didn't have any sick bouts, but maybe you can be asymptomatic and still have some sort of thing.
Tinnitus as well. That's the ringing in the ear. Some people have tinnitus, but they were saying that he couldn't take it. It was unbearable.
So then isn't this story an argument for people needing to take the vaccination?
It is. It would be. It would be, because you don't want to get it.
Yeah.
You don't want to get it. But that's what the family was saying. He was experiencing unbearable symptoms related to COVID-19 that he had, you know, the lingering symptoms. What I will notice is low energy levels. And it's not from just sitting in there. Things that I used to be able to do like that, boom, boom, boom. It's like I'm winded. So yeah, it could very well be an argument to get your COVID vaccine. If you want to say it, say it.
Okay. I did already.
Look, I'm like, okay.
I did. That was implied in my question.
Yeah.
But, you know.
And it was implied. It definitely was implied.
Yeah.
I'm not going to push anything. I think everybody has a freedom of choice. There were some that said that everybody's going to have the COVID vaccine in order to do anything. That's how it was with the hepatitis B. You walk around, you have your card. Once you had it, you're good. But they didn't know the efficacy of the COVID vaccine? How long will it last? Is it going to be like the flu vaccine? And we talked about that before. Are you going to have to get it every year? Does it last 6 months? Don't know, because we know with hepatitis B vaccine, it's supposed to last forever. So it's totally up to you if you want to get it. But I do need to say this to my lovely people who have gotten it. Just because you've gotten the vaccine does not mean that you won't be a carrier for somebody who has not, or, you know, decided to opt out. I have a problem with people trying to make you do things. I don't like that. So to each his own. Decisions. We like those, don't we? Make the decision. That's all I have. So today's footnote is what actually came to my mind. People will be so familiar with you that they don't even recognize the God within you. So do your thing, whatever your purpose is, keep it going, and don't ever, ever lose your spark. All right, lovely people, that is my time. I thoroughly enjoyed you, as I do each and every single Saturday. Thank you so much for listening to Shop Talk with Mel. We went over a little bit because we had guests early on, but we're going to do it. You know, we give it to you every single Saturday from 10 a.m. to 12 noon. You already know how it rolls. Find you, embrace you. Most importantly, always, always love you.